Michelle, Whistler Film Festival, Prodigals it's one of my favorite films that I've seen. It is so well done. I need to know from your point of view why you decided to direct this film.
This film, I was approached by David Kay and Jameson Parker. Jameson had actually been in a play called Prodigal, same name, and I had been approached. They had optioned a screenplay from the playwright, and they'd actually approached me about it in 2013, and I absolutely loved the setting. I loved a lot of the themes of coming home and the themes of reunion. And so when I signed on with them, we started undergoing development, and we hired a screenwriter, Nicholas Corella, to do the adaptation. And that was a really fun process for me because I was very hands-on with that, and we talked a lot about the themes and the characters, and Jen and Wesley and Benny, who didn't appear in the play. So that was who David Kay played. So, and I just, the whole idea of second chances and who deserves them, and being in the right place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right time, all of those things. Plus, I love a good legal through line. So, it really encompassed things that I, as a person, enjoy. It would be the type of film that I think I would like if I came across it on, Netflix or whatever. So, I just, I try to make it from the perspective of a film lover and watcher, if that makes sense. I just really, really like the story, and really, and then, as I can, because of course, making an independent film takes many, many years. So my own life and some of the things that were happening in my own life as we were making the film, and as the drafts, as Nick was writing the drafts and they were getting finalized, really kind of mirrored some of the stuff that was going on in the actual film itself. And so the story it almost evolved to become more personal for me as we were making the film. So, it's been a really, really great experience. I've gotten to work with a whole bunch of new people and a whole bunch of people that I've worked with before, and I really enjoyed it.
And one of the big things this year in the festival is female involvement in films. So the fact that you're there directing a movie is huge. I mean, it shouldn't be, but it's a big deal right now. And women are finally pushing forward and taking those bigger roles, for lack of a better way to say it. And you did really well with it. You guys had an amazing group of talent as far as cast goes, but obviously they needed direction, and you were there, and I can't say enough again about how it all came through and how your story was told. Thank you. You're very welcome.
I worked with some really key females as well behind the camera. Like, it was me, but also our director of photography, Lindsay George. It was amazing because I heard so many times people were like, wow, this is the first female DP I've worked with. And I was like, wow, these are some seasoned people that are saying this. And then our executive producer, who had worked on the development of the play and had worked with us on the development of the script throughout, Sabrina Everett, who had a company called 20 Something Theater, now Firepot Performance. So she's really committed to adaptation of works from stage to screen. So we had women in real creative and decision-making roles throughout, and that was something that was great. I really enjoyed collaborating with them.
And to focus on the decision-making aspect of it, David was in here earlier, and he was telling us that you guys had to actually cut out 15 minutes of the movie. As a director, how do you watch this project go from what it is to, oh my goodness, we have to take something out now?
Well, I did all of the editing, and I was lucky because, David Kay and Nick and Jameson, the producers that I work with, are all really supportive in a creative capacity. So when I was, tasked with taking out these 15 minutes, they were kind of like, you just do your first pass, and then we can talk about it. But, ultimately, it's whatever you kind of feel comfortable with. And it turned out to be a gift, because the film had been finished for a few months, and we already knew we were coming to Whistler because we got the kind of tasked with the the cut down in probably 4 weeks before we premiered. So I hadn't looked at it. So coming back to it after having a rest from it for, a few months was actually great. I enjoyed it. It's not feasible to do on every film, but it kind of ended up being a blessing.
And do you have a sort of different perspective once you've taken yourself away from the film for that long, going in to watch it again? Are you like, oh, this is where I can tweak something? Is that how it sort of worked out?
Absolutely. You get so close to the work, especially when you're directing it, when you're editing it, and I have people that I trust that I, get feedback from and ask, and I listen to people when they tell me things, and when they give me feedback, because they can see things sometimes that I can't see. But it was great to come at it with as much fresh eyes as I could, it was a real gift.
So why, in this crazy industry that we're in, why directing? Why did you choose that?
Oh, I think it's the best job. I really love it. Directing is a very collaborative medium. You get to work with a lot of great people that have great insights, telling stories, getting to really dive into all aspects of a character. I really enjoy that as well, working with the actors and with with screenwriters, and it's a real privilege to be able to get to tell stories and to get to entertain people.
How do you deal with different actors and their different methods of getting into character? How do you sort of help shape that character with them?
I try to give them space. I find most of my job is done in casting. So if I can get that right, and if the script resonates with them, I find what's been the best thing for me is how surprising it can be to bring in that collaborator and their take on things and what they think and their own experiences from their life that they bring to the table when they're working on the character. So, for me, even in all the roles, the actors, and then also in the other creative roles, if we can get, have a preliminary discussions, and we'll have discussions throughout, but if we're on the same page, I kind of like to let them do their thing and interject only when it makes sense or when I feel that it's maybe going off track. But generally, I'm not an actor, so, I can't tell them how to, act. They know better than I do. So getting to watch, the decisions get that they make and getting to watch them work is, for me, it's one of the best parts of my job.
And your method clearly works, as I've said. It comes through in Prodigals. Do you have another project that you're currently working on now that this one's finished, completed, and on its way?
So Nick and I, our company, we've been working. It's another play written by Dave DeVoe, and Nick and Dave wrote the screenplay. It's called Us in 9 Months, and it's a comedy about a family having a baby, a same-sex couple having a baby, and they enlist their friends, one woman to carry the child and one to give the egg. And it's anyways, all kinds of things ensue, but really what it is it's a meditation on fatherhood and on commitment and on love, but all in a kind of very funny package. So we're working on that, and we hope to shoot that in 2018.
I'm excited to see that one come through. I have one more question that I tend to ask each of my guests. It's actually about your socks. I think that socks tell a lot about a person.
Okay. So these are socks that my mother bought for my husband from Dollarama, and I'm going to show them to you. Yup, and they're Christmas socks.
Awesome. It's a good day to wear them.
I'm always a Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have little Christmas trees. I love Christmas, but I'm always a really bad sock person. They're usually odd or have holes in them. Yeah, I don't know why.
Do they match today?
They match today.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was like, these are nice. They're thin. But yeah, my mom bought them for my husband from Dollarama.
That's all right. It counts. We had someone in earlier that they stole their sister's socks. So
there you go.
It's, it's a thing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.